How to cut down on carbs. If you're asking yourself about how to cut down on carbs, you've come to the right place. Cutting out carbohydrates is one of the simplest and most effective ways to lose weight and control blood sugar. By cutting carbs, insulin levels are reduced, appetites are better satiated, and rapid weight loss occurs. You might be wondering how to cut down on carbs. Carbs are in everything. Even protein-rich foods, like cheese and eggs, have trace amounts of carbs. The answer is that there are a lot of easy, effective, and healthy ways to reduce your carb intake so you can experience the benefits of a diet that is lower in carbs. Here are 10 simple ways to answer your questions about how to cut down on carbs. 1. Cut back on bread. Bread is extremely high in carbohydrates and lacking in much else when it comes to nutrition, which makes it a poor choice for a healthy diet. If you must have bread, choose items lower in carbs like flatbreads, low-carb tortillas, and sandwich thins. When eating out, go bunless or only eat the bottom half of the bun or bread. I have even brought in my own low-carb tortillas to a Mexican restaurant to enjoy with fajitas, instead of the corn or flour tortillas offered. If preparing food at home, there are a lot of recipes out there that provide low-carb bread substitutions such as lettuce leaves or cloud bread. 2. Snack on low-carb options. Sometimes hunger strikes between meals and all too often we go for that bag of chips or candy bar to hold us over. Even some choices considered to be healthy, like trail mix and granola bars, are laden with carbs. Try having lots of low-carb snack options at the ready for those little hunger emergencies. Good options are nuts, cheese, hard-boiled eggs, deli meat, or jerky. 3. Cut out sugar. Adding sugar to sweetened foods and beverages adds an extra 12 grams of carbs per tablespoon. There are plenty of sweetener alternatives out there to use in place of sugar in your morning coffee or tea, as well as in baked goods. Stevia, erythritol, xylitol, and monk fruit are all natural sweeteners that do not raise blood sugar or affect insulin levels, so they make for excellent alternatives to sugar. Cutting out sugar is extremely difficult. The seemingly innocuous stuff is actually quite addictive. 4. Substitute wheat flour with alternative flours. Wheat flour is used in just about everything from baked goods to gravy and breading for fried foods. When thinking about how to cut carbs, substituting flours is one of the easiest swaps to make because there are a number of alternatives to wheat flours. The most successful two of these alternatives are almond flour and coconut flour. They can be used for breading and in the making of baked goods, but the texture is not quite the same because of the lack of gluten. There are thousands of recipes online for everything from cakes and cookies to breads and biscuits using flour alternatives. Luckily, other people have done all the legwork, so all you have to do is run a search for whatever you are wanting to make, and chances are someone has developed a flourless version of it. 5. Don't drink your carbs. Carbs in sugary beverages, like fruit juices and sodas, really add up. A 12-ounce can of soda has 39 grams of carbs alone. Orange juice is almost as bad, racking in 37 grams of carbs for the same 12 ounces to effectively reduce the amount of sugar in your diet. Giving up these empty carbs and calories is one small, but significant, way you can. Drink unsweetened tea or water. Carry flavored water enhancers with you as you are out and about to add to water if you like beverages with a lot of flavor. 6. Swap your sides. Most restaurants offer carb-heavy side options with meals such as rice, potatoes, bread, and pasta. Even at home we tend to include a starchy side with every meal. They are economical and filling so your plate and tummy are full for not a lot of dough, pun intended. When cutting out carbs, you have to find a different way to think. Use low-carb substitutions when cooking at home like mashed cauliflower in place of mashed potatoes, spaghetti squash instead of pasta, and riced cauliflower where white or brown rice is called for. When dining out, Opt for side salads or fresh veggies with your meals. Almost all restaurants offer at least one fresh vegetable and side salad option. And you can always ask for starchy items like potatoes and rice to be left out of a dish. Most restaurants are very accommodating to special requests, and they are beginning to offer more and more options for patrons with special diets. 7. Be cautious with dairy. Most dairy products are quite good for you as they contain calcium, magnesium, and protein. However, many have hidden and added sugars, the worst offenders being flavored milks, yogurts, and smoothies. Even plain milk contains a lactose, which is a type of sugar. The best and easiest way to reduce carbs in your dairy is to read labels and choose items that are lower in carbs or find an alternative. For example, an 8 ounces serving of plain milk contains 12 to 13 grams of carbs, but unsweetened almond or coconut milk has fewer than 2 grams of carbs on average, making them excellent alternatives. Additionally, plain Greek yogurt with a few berries sprinkled on top is a much lower carb option than flavored yogurts, which can have anywhere from 10 to upwards of 30 grams of carbs per serving. Smoothies purchased from shops or restaurants are almost guaranteed to be loaded with carbs. A 20 ounces smoothie can pack up to 100 grams of carbs from added fruits, sugars, and dairy. We recommend making your own smoothies at home. Use Greek yogurt, berries, spinach, and coconut or almond milk for a lower carb version. You can even throw in a scoop of low-carb protein powder to make it a meal replacement. 8. Find alternatives for your cravings. We all have food cravings. After a rough day, sometimes all you want to do is to order a pizza or dig into a pint of ice cream. When thinking about how to cut carbs, don't assume that you can't have fun foods or give in to a craving every now and then. You just have to think outside the box a little. For example, low-carb tortillas are a lifesaver for me. I use them to make tacos, enchiladas, breakfast tacos, and even a quick pizza by spreading them with sugar-free marinara, mozzarella cheese, and turkey pepperoni before baking. Craving sweets? That's okay too. There are plenty of low-carb alternatives for sweets. All it takes is a little research on your part to find a lower-carb version of whatever it is that you just gotta have. 9. Cut the cocktails. You don't have to give up the occasional adult beverage to cut the carbs, however you do have to be smarter about what you consume. Fruity cocktails are full of sugar, not to mention calories. Most beers and wines are quite high in carbs as well. Next time you're out for cocktails, order your favorite liquor on the rocks or with club soda and a twist of lime. Light beers are also another lower carb option. If you prefer wine, go for dry reds and skip the champagne. 10. Track everything. There's just no way to know how many carbohydrates you are consuming if you don't track the nutrition content of every morsel you put in your mouth. A good number to shoot for is fewer than 50 grams of carbs each day. You can either keep a food journal manually or you can use a nutrition tracker such as MyFitnessPal or Lose It to calculate your daily intake. The nice thing about using an online tracker is that the math is already done for you, and they have large databases of foods, including restaurants, already loaded into their systems. They even have the ability to scan barcodes to immediately add items to your daily food journal. We are here to help you figure out how to cut carbs. And don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest and YouTube pages to check out our weight loss guides, workouts, and recipes.